Hi, just doing a live run through of Maul East to show you guys how I do it using some tips and tricks I gathered from a YouTube video or from a few YouTube videos. Um, Gear I use to do it is nothing spectacular. It's basically a few pickups as off spec. Now I am ranked 14, so weapon's pretty good. Outside of that, it can honestly be done in close to no gear. I've been doing this for quite a few phases. Started out with just a few blues and about 200 spell power. So you can do this with any gear. Just try and gear for, intellect, MP5, spell power, and a bit of stamina as well, just in case you get hit by a few things. But there's quite a few situations that can go wrong where you can recover. I'll just do one go and I'll try to explain it as good as I can while I'm going through it, also what can go wrong. So basically what you want to do first is jump down this ledge where you see the cracks. You want to kind of jump onto the rock over there. Make sure you have full health or close to full health when you're doing this so that you don't die from fall damage. I've had that happen a few times if I wasn't careful. If you have herbalism, this is a good spot to herb. Um, Problem is, quite a few of these herbs won't be available if you're not, like, if you don't have a way to reset mobs. Um, for example, you see the herb over there, the Grum's Blood. You can't reach that one. There's a Dreamfoil behind this one. There's a Deathlash here that you will aggro. It's level 58, so it has quite a big aggro radius. You will aggro it if you try to reach it. One of the key things here is to kind of remember and memorize how the patrols go. Obviously, I've been doing this for a while, so I know where I can avoid them. Sometimes still pull aggro on them. So I run past the first one. They patrol from here to here. Kind of run past them. Sometimes you'll have herbs over here that spawn. You can reach both of these herbs. Um, then I run to this pillar, avoiding that patrol over there. If you can see, that patrol runs from here, from right about here, all the way to, and this is a bit annoying, all the way to that side. So you want to avoid those. You want to run towards the wall here. There's a patrol that patrols from here to there, right around. But you'll get to know these patrols once it's going to be trial and error the first few times. You can kind of play around them, make sure you don't get seen or hit by them. There's another herb here. Unfortunately, this time we get many herbs that we can't pick. This one you will very likely pull the lashers here. Um, I always put up lightning shield when I get here because there's a stealth satyr here that you might pull or that you will very likely pull if you go this way around. I'm just going this way around because there is a potential herb spawn here, but I can see it spawned right there. I will be able to get this later, I think, unless it's the one near the lashers. But I'll get to that soon. So running back here, I will probably catch the patrol in stealth. Rank 10 lightning bolt, or sorry, yeah, switch that one around. Rank 10 lightning bolt is what I use for the satyrs. You will kind of use a lower rank later on the last boss, but we'll get to that. So I pulled it. Basically, what I just do is kind of frost shock lightning bolt. I will be clicking a few buttons in this go through because I haven't really optimized my UI for this farm. It is still an off spec, but it's quite simple. So basically, just you can run through him. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Just when they catch you, they will. He also does a poison that slows you, which you can poison dispel when you get it. So you just well, actually let me start the money looter here to see if there's anything interesting we get. Um, so the satyrs will drop a few nice things. They will drop fell cloth. They will drop demonic runes. I have a surplus. I mean, got most in the bank, but I have a surplus of about 60 demonic runes just from doing this farm over and over again. It's a nice extra if you're healing next Rammus, for example. This clip was taken in anniversary next Rammus. Um, right here, there might be another stealther, so another satyr right here in stealth. Same thing, you have some room in the room over there to just kite him around. Frost max rank frost choke, and max rank lightning bolt. You can kind of down rank as needed. You can start the fight with around 50% mana and still be good on mana. Now here again, I'm not killing the Hydro spawn. You can, but it's a bit of a hassle. So I just avoid him. It's also about getting the patrols right. Here, there's a few herbs that you can pick up. Most you can't. So right here, he won't see you. You can also go the other way around, and then to this spot. A good one is also these warpwood pods. Some of them will actually be targetable. Some of them have whiplashers that spawn. Normally you don't aggro those if you open them from far away, or if you try to open them from far away. If you do aggro them, kind of just have Flame Tongue weapon on, Alt tab between them, and then make sure they're a bit lower. You can shock as well. They're immune to nature, but you can use everything else on them. So shock them, and then you can use your Fire Nova totem or your Magma totem once you get to them. Um, I'm not pulling them right now. Obviously, sometimes the pods, when you get near them, they will remain intact, and that means that you can open them. I don't actually have them right now. You get thorning seeds from them. You can use those on the Vash encounter in TBC, so they're definitely useful to keep. They also drop Runtum tubers, I think, which can be turned into intellect food. Um, they don't really sell that well on the auction house. So I go from here to there. Occasionally there's a stealth patrol here as well, which you will pull if you go around here. There might be um, a ghost mushroom spawn. You will see on the minimap there's quite a few ghost mushroom spawns. Again, I can't really reach those. You can see the patrol here, by the way. So if you stay here long enough, he will show up. I'm just killing this. Again, you can see the poison here going out. So you can kite them along, and he sometimes just kind of bullies you by slowing you, dazing you. But you can always get rid of that. I mean, I'm just kiting him around like this. Max ranks, all good. Lower rank lightning bolt just to finish him off to retain a bit of mana. Um, this little corridor we're going into right now always has a stealth patrol. So there's always a satyr somewhere around here. Um, Actually, he might patrol a bit further, so there's been times I don't get him, but like 90% of the times there's one here. We might have actually just killed him if he patrols that way. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, looks like we did. Sometimes you get a ghost mushroom right over there. Um, Very important to stay near, like walk into the edge, because otherwise you might pull these imps. I've had that happen. There's no real reset spot right here. Um, so yeah, if you do that, just try and die somewhere safe. You can use Ankh if you need to. Right now, when we get to this, so we're going to kill this Satyr boss, Severin Thornhoof. We use Grounding Totem, we use Searing Totem, um, and we also put up a Mana Spring Totem. The grounding totem is very important because he will try and sacrifice something. If there's no grounding totem up, he will sacrifice you. So then you will take a lot of damage on the altar. So he will teleport you to the altar. You'll be stunned for a few seconds and you take a lot of damage. I think it's health percentage wise. um, you get quite close. If you have a dot on you, because it does tend to dot as well, that means you will likely die. I've had it happen a few times where I'm not careful. I get sacrificed and I have about 5% health left, manage to get a lesser healing wave off, and survive. But that means I'm in, depending on when that happens, that means I'm in for a very tricky fight. Um, so again, summon grounding totem, searing totem, which is a bit of extra damage, but also sometimes you will sacrifice your searing totem instead, so that's good. Then your grounding totem remains intact. You, I'll just go do the fight here. So what you want to do is you want to front load a lot of damage, elemental mastery, Sandalarian hero charm, any trinket, any actives you have. You want to front load a lot of damage. He will come to you. What I usually do is elemental mastery into a shock, basically double double dipping on the crit. But then you need to get a little bit closer. Sometimes he pulls when you get a little bit closer. That's fine. He doesn't do a lot of damage on his own. He does tend to melee quite hard, but you can still go on the edge to kind of, let him run the other way. So what we want to do is use this pillar over here and strafe left to the ledge here to kind of let him run over there and then back. So we are basically just ping ponging him all the time. Um, Once you get a bit of gear, you can be a bit less careful here as long as you have your grounding totem down. So I will right now, I'll pull him. So I'll go off the ledge. He doesn't pull right away, so I front load my damage. You can see the big crits going out there. I go on the ledge. He casts intense pain, so dot. So he runs away. I go back off the ledge. He runs back. I go back on the ledge. He will sacrifice now, so he sacrifices the grounding totem. Recast grounding totem, very important. So back off the ledge, he runs towards me. Back on the ledge, he runs back. Um, just make sure you don't stand there too long, because then he will. You can see here he's gonna start want to go up this way. He'll run through the pillar. You can then just reset him again. But you can see he does do quite a bit of damage. If you get lower, just throw yourself a healing wave. Again, grounding totem was sacrificed, so we just want to kind of do the same thing here. Just going on and off the ledge. Don't want to risk it too much. The intense pain. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. I think I was very close here with with replacing the grounding. Otherwise, I would have been sacrificed. So we just do that. It's going to be a bit hard on the mana if you don't have a lot of gear, where you might want to downrank Lightning Bolt, or kind of, you know, use a lesser mana pot if you have them. I used to have these with me just to be sure. Now I can just manage with whatever I have because it's become such a kind of a muscle memory thing. As you can see, the drops were really good on this one. Satyr's Bow, Felcloth. Sometimes you just get a 70 silver green piece and that's it. So it's really hit or miss. But you need to kill him in order to get to the last boss, and obviously that's where most of your gold is gonna come from. Apart from the herbs, I have 300 herbing, so I can spawn an extra Black Lotus on the Dreamfoil and Grum's Blood nodes. But I've only had that. I have it since pretty recently, but I've only had that happen once, so it's definitely not something you should expect. The biggest amount of gold comes from having mining. So I would definitely say if you need one of the two, so mining or herbalism, go for mining, not herbalism. Again, avoid patrols here. These three patrol from there to right about here, so you can either, if they're over there or over there, you can just go through the middle. Make sure you don't pull any whiplashers. This is kind of a safe spot, so you can just stand here forever and nothing will aggro. So around that tree is a safe spot. There's two patrols here, the ones I mentioned earlier, which you will not be able, well, which are quite difficult to avoid. But again, knowing their pathing means that you know when to go or when not to go. Um, right now I'm trying to get that herb over there, so I'm just waiting for these guys to pass again. Um, This right here, this pillar is a reset spot. So if you go behind the pillar, everything will kind of just bug out and reset after a while. So that's definitely a good one to use if you do pull quite close to it. Right now, I can go for the herb. Um, the patrols are on their way. This one doesn't come close. And there we go. So 3 crumbs blood. This one's gonna come back soon. I'm actually already going that way now that I have time. Um, you can see this one running at you. It's quite scary sometimes. Right in the middle of these whiplashers is also kind of a safe spot between these two patrols that you can use. I mean, this is far away, so I can go to the next one. Um, this is also a safe spot. So always near the trees, you're gonna have some safe spots. You want to wait until these have passed. Unfortunately, I can only reach one of the herbs this time. Sometimes you can reach 2 nodes, sometimes you can reach 3 or even 4. There's always going to be 4 spawns in this room. So they're gone now. Kind of go there. He dies. That's fine. The door is open. And this is going to be the part where you're probably learning a bit before you get it down properly. And a lot can go wrong, but there's also many fixes to it. So I sometimes click stuff. So I put always switch my lightning bolt to my one button, the one I'm using. So I'm using rank 4 because he's resistant to nature. So you don't want to go too hard on spending a lot of mana on nature spells. Rank 4 on the start, I will you know click cast some of the rank 10 lightning bolts just to get a bit of extra damage in at the start when I have my trinket up. Um, you want to go onto this edge. This is also a reset spot, so if you pull anything, even from in the room, and you can put down an Earthbind totem, you can reach this, then they will also evade and they will run back. This is a reset spot. Sometimes you'll pull one of the big guys that's patrolling here. You can just use this, and then you want to jump down here to this pillar, and that's when we are setting up to start a fight. Important to notice when he's in the middle, so he patrols from the middle to right around here at the pillar. When he's in the middle, you don't want, sorry, he's not gonna aggro you if you go onto the edge. When he comes closer to the pillar, he might aggro you or one of your totems. Uh, General setup is gonna be the same, so we want Searing Totem down, we want mana spring totem down, and we want our grounding totem down. The grounding is to ground one of his 2 spells, so he casts a poison and a disease. Poison is very important to dispel very fast if you do get it. You'll see me do it sometimes, probably. If you do get it, if you don't have your grounding up, it's a mana drain, so you want to get rid of that as soon as possible. The disease does quite a bit of damage and slows your attack speed. You want to get rid of that as well, but it's not as severe as the poison. But ultimately, you kind of want to play around so that you can ground both of them if he casts it. Um, he goes into 3 different forms. One of the forms will do a slow if he reaches you sometimes. You just want to wait until the slow's gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring him to 50%. Down there, also by playing on this little rock, the edge, jumping from one side to the other. Want to get him to 52%. We want to make sure that not a lot of damage comes out on him then. And we want to, if he's on 52%, we want to have him right about there. So he's gonna go this way. We want to have him right about there. I'm not sure. I hope you can see my cursor as well. Want him there, and then at 52% we're gonna flame shock him one last time, gonna let him come to us, and then we're gonna pop a swiftness potion. We're gonna run all the way here up until where these mobs are. There's a back there as well that we can't see right now. We want to run in between those, and we want to run onto the left edge there, and we want to run all the way here, and then we will pull the imps that have come out by then, so that the rock formation here is gone by that time. there we want to pull the imps and reset them so that we can jump down and go for the rich thorium veins, which you see is right. Oh, actually, these ones are quite far in, but there's always two spawns. Sometimes there's three nodes. So jumping down now, he's in the middle, placing my totems. You want to heal up a bit if possible. You want to, you know, use a bit of water, get your max mana. Mana's going to be important again when you don't have a lot of gear. I can definitely like kind of manage right now with the gear that I have. So he's gonna start patrolling back to the pillar, which means I will aggro him in a second. I'm popping my hero charm, max rank lightning bolts, getting damage out again. You can see I grounded the first disease cast going out. So he's gonna patrol back to me now. I can put up a grounding totem again. I'm using flame shock just to have that dot damage going out. He's gonna patrol up to me here. Sometimes because I have a lot of mana, I use frost shock as well. Um, this is too far to reach. Flame shock goes out again. Yeah, I see I lost my searing totem, so I replaced it. Um, he's gonna run back. You kind of just juggle him. If he's in caster form, so this form, he's gonna start casting stuff at you when he's too close. So if you don't want him casting, you can just kind of juggle him far, in the far back so that he doesn't really cast until he's in another form. If you don't, then you can just ground. I'm playing it very slow here. I usually go a bit faster, but I just want to make sure you see everything. So this form, if he melees you in the warg form, then you can sometimes get a slow on you that ticks for damage and slows you for, I think 15 seconds around there. So now he costs the mana, sort of poison, which we grounded. You see, I missed a jump here. So I did lose a bit of health, but I can just kind of heal back up. You can see sometimes it bugs out. The grounding totem's actually been used, but it stays there. So if he's gonna cast again now, he's gonna um, hit me instead of my grounding totem. So I just replace my grounding totem, flame shock again. Just kind of keep juggling him. It takes a while until you get used to the routing. Um, but this is how it goes. It's quite easy once you get the muscle memory for it. So we just keep kind of lightning bolting. I let him come quite close here, but it's fine. He went into the other form. This one's not really that dangerous. The most dangerous is when he's in casting form, in caster form, sorry. So yeah, you just want to juggle him a bit. He's on 59% now. I will do another frost shock. Oh, resists, that's okay. After 60%, I don't flame shock anymore because you want him on 52, so you don't want to kind of have dots ticking on him if you can avoid it. 55 now, so kind of just want to juggle him a bit more. Oh, grinding up to make sure I get rid of that one. Okay, he's on 53. So what I want to do now, I know he's going to be very close. I let him go back once more. I cast a lightning bolt. If it doesn't go off, you can cast it right when he's in range again. Flame shock, and then I want to pop swiftness potion. As you can see, he casts wild regeneration here, which is fine. You can see the imps going out. They'll do that as a 51-ish percent, and you want to run all the way to this edge, and then you want to just jump up here to avoid them. Sometimes they cast, so the Death Lashes cost like a spell that hits for quite a bit, so you definitely want to keep an eye on your health when you get here. It's been very close at times. If you die right in the middle there, you can just use your Ang and run up here anyway. You can see I still have aggro on them. Actually, what I normally do is I run all the way up here to this little rock. Then I wait around the right side of the edge so that I'm not in line of sight of anything. You can see the imps run back here, and then they go to the boss. You actually want to wait until they've gathered up around the boss. What you want to do then is you want to go in front. Make sure your health is high enough. So you can see they aggro me now. Then you want to jump on the rock and you can see they're on their way. They pull, probably around everything that they pass here. I usually position my camera this way so you can see them once they come close, and then once they're close, you wanna jump up the edge. You can see they're all evading now. I'm running all the way to this side, and I want to be positioned when I get out of combat, and you'll see that right here, to jump this side, to that edge over there. When I'm out of combat, I'm jumping. I see I got out of combat now. I'm jumping, and then as quick as I can, I get into the tunnel. You'll see a rich thorium vein right over there. Let me switch to mineral finding. Oh, there's one right over here, so that's two. Sometimes at the end of the tunnel, you'll see a third one spawn. Um, See if we get any luck here. I do get like usually get like an arcane crystal every hour or so at least, and a blue sapphire occasionally, usually like one or two a day if I'm doing like an 8 hour farm. It's definitely, let's say if I'm on an average day, this will probably be 100 to 150 gold per hour. You can get unlucky and really go a while at 30-ish gold per hour from the other drops that you get. If you get like a black lotus or a blue sapphire, it's jackpot really. That's also what makes this grind fun is that there's some luck involved. You have kind of a very some steady income here, but there's definitely luck involved. Sorry for I'm not used to recording these types of things. If you have any questions, do let me know. Sorry for the blabbering on sometimes, and good luck.